Another will reach the lead. Headley Grange was coming through. On the outside, Jimmy Star boxing away with Desert Lightning. Jimmy Star is lifting. Headley Grange on the inside. Here comes the post. Headley Grange.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, Brisvegas style. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm joined in studio with Anthony Don. He's had a rough morning. Coffee's spilled all over the carpet. The dog's done something. The kids have done something else. You're rattled.
No, I'm not rattled. It's just a day in the life, really. You lose all your money one day. Coffee goes everywhere the next. Just standard, really, procedures. But it was a good weekend last weekend for the boys. A couple of long price winners. And looks another meeting that's quite open, I think. It's going to be one for value hunting once again.
GK scooped the pool in the other side's projects. He landed the first four, and Basilius was good for you. Moneybags GK.
Yeah, that was a good result. Having something on Basilius, and then I got a piece of that first ball, which was nice. It was a little cherry on top for the day, and I thought it was great card last weekend. Just so much depth, and so it's no surprise you could find some value. This week's a bit different.
Yeah, I definitely found plenty of value in the hosted pot, and I think I got down to about $900 and clawed my way back. I almost airballed the whole meeting despite finding multiple long price winners. So just goes to show you can get the right set and you can still stuff it up. So it's probably as bad as I punted. John Walter, you're with us?
With you, Jesus Christ. It was nearly the day of days, wasn't it? But I think GK cost me about 90 grand just pulling the tail on Militarized just even after they went over the post. I think he just still had hold of its tail from the third row of the grandstand. And I think I had second, third, fourth, fifth there for about a big result. I had more bets on Saturday than I've had in 10 years in a meeting. So it was a good meeting.
It was good to hear that Racing Queensland's turnover's gone sky high, and it's obviously off the back of this show alone. Last week, let's go through them quickly. Headley Grange was good. GK and Walt, Basilius, Donny, and Alicants. For all of us nearly found that one. And then Regal Award for the True Believers. There were plenty in the YouTube comments that finally got paid for that one. Was a crazy price. And yeah, a couple of heartbreakers for me. Jimmy Star, solid gold. And Within the Laws, another big one for GK and I. We were sort of hell-bent on having it win, and then we thought it was going to be a real wild card for the Stradbroke, which is starting to look a little bit thin. But surely some listeners out there got a piece of a couple of those results, and hopefully they held you in good stead for the day, and you managed to go through unscathed, because it was a tricky day, and sometimes you had to back multiple runners in a race to get a result given the prices of the winners. Littlebirdie.tv tips areas where you can find the summary of the day's tips. GK, it's blue skies and sunny down here. It has been that way all week, which is brilliant. Eagle Farm track Saturday.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a good four to start with, and then I think it's just a question of how firm it gets. Last week, there's a bit of talk that you needed to get to the Crown. Like there was all sorts of talk from some of the jockeys earlier on. Like some of them were saying, it was a 7 and inside was inferior and outside was inferior. So look, I honestly think some of them had no idea where to go. I thought maybe the perceived bias was a bit overstated personally. So look, I think they'll still be getting off, a lane or two, but I'm not sure it's going to be as severe as what it was perceived to be last week anyway. So look, I just think great betting track. I think the question mainly for me is just how firm it gets late in the day. Does it get closer to a 3 rather than a 4? Because that, as we see up here, when it gets really firm, these tracks, some horses just can't go on it because it's concrete.
Yeah, they just don't let down at Eagle Farm. 100%. All right, today's show, thanks to all the love and support from the fans, they won all 9. So we're going to go all 9, Donny, which will be a bit to your disgust. So let's get stuck into race 1 straight away, and we'll try and keep it quick, given we've got the full panel as well. But the first is the Birdie Nixon, all 9, benchmark 90. And Rodigilla is the favourite here for Timmy Clark, $4. Cavalryman, $4. Kulakoi, $5. And then Express Payment, $6.50. Diamond Epic, $12. Sweltering, $16. Galano is $18. A couple of replays here. Donny, the first one you like in the red silks, the good old grey Cavalryman.
Yeah, it's just tracking in behind the leaders, and you can see they've gone hard here, and it's trying to peel out at the top of the straight, and just jockey kind of makes a wrong decision, looks to go in and probably should have went out, and just hard held for the last couple of hundred. No doubt it should have won this race, and it's a horse that loves Eagle Farm, loves 1,800 metres, and its best figure is 1,800 metres at the track on a really firm track. So I think it's tracking really nicely throughout the preparation, and it's certainly the one to beat for mine.
Yeah, Rodigilla looks like the clear danger. This is 2 starts back at Gosford, so it's since failed on a heavy, but you can see it in the black silks with the yellow. We've watched this replay a million times. Athanatos wins. He's since beat Militarized, much to John's disgust. Grand Omaha went really good in the rough habit. This surely measures up versus a Cavalryman, John.
Oh, it should for sure. But I don't know. That was a bit of a and then it's had a heavy track run since 2000. Back to 1800 dry tracks, obviously ideal, perfect draw. Timmy on, lots of like. Just still got a little sucky feeling in the back of my mind. This horse is a better miler, but he should get the right run to run the trip.
GK, any thoughts this race, or are you just going to watch it and see how the track plays?
I never watch. I'll be betting, but look, I'll be waiting. I just wanted to know what the plans were with Rodigilla, whether it was here or Sydney. So they've scratched from Sydney. So that's important. Still making my mind up. I thought Cavalryman's pretty obvious, but look, I thought Kaluakai was a very good win last start. I know, was up in speed. Purton kicked away, but they did go quick there. So I can't get rid of it either. So I kind of need to make a decision, and I need to choose which of these 3 that I want to be against, really, and then go from there. But still a bit of a wait and see for me till Saturday.
So John Walter, commitment? Any big commitment here? Donnie's committed to Cavalryman. You blokes are a bit on the fence.
I can't take 5-2 Schumacher in the first race of the day. So if either jockey was on it, I'd be with Cavalryman with Donnie. But the other, I'll stick with Timmy. We'll go head to head. Okay,
so they're the 3 key chances in the race, and I'm probably just going to watch the race and not bet. I just don't think the market's missed anything. Eagle Farm Race 2, it's the Campton Racing Benchmark 85, 1,200 metre event. Now is the hour, $3.20 favourite. Balance the books, $4.40. Surprise Honey, $6.50. Should be the Tony Golan Stakes, this one. Verdo, $8.50. Soothsayer, $9.50. Restonica, $12. Caspanova, $17. And you got Town Cry at $23. This is a race that you like here for now is the hour, GK. It's in the black with yellow spots. This is at second to Arabian Rose, who just went zoom straight past it first up.
Yeah, and obviously drew wide here. Now's the hour. Got into a bit of a sticky spot, was wide, and then J-Mac tried to slot in mid-race and kind of got in, maybe half in. Look, they went fairly quick here, and I thought it was, an impressive run given this was not its usual pattern. And my notes on it and thinking about plans for it moving forward was I just want big track, dry track, and to draw in. And I just think it was going to be in the finish next start. And I get all of that here. Some of the others that sort of got close to it there, they got suck runs behind it. I just can't see any of them turning the tables on it. Look, I get a perfect setup here. There is a little bit of tempo, but given Berry's gone on here, I actually just wonder whether they handle bars down. And actually, that's the way I want it to be ridden. Kind of a little bit like how Berry has ridden Jaggers of late. Just take it up and go forward. And I think it's going to be extraordinarily hard to run down. So, really keen now's the hour.
John Walter, Verdot's got the scone form. Can that measure up or not quite?
I can, if you're on Verdot last start, you're probably still throwing up. And I saw the jockey made some excuses. I think he just put his hand up and said sorry. But the trial since was quite interesting. Or is that not this horse? No, I've got the wrong horse. Have I? No, it was that one. Hit out since. Yeah, this is the one that they absolutely bashed to the line, right? Can measure up for sure. I thought Soothsayer was good too last time. I thought before the bend just got completely bustled out of the race and never really got its head back on. So I thought Soothsayer and Verdot were the 2 sort of value around. Now's the hour. Geez, it's a nice horse. Now's the hour. But I just thought had its chance last time and just staying at 1,200 again, thought the other 2 might be a little bit better value.
Yeah, for me, now is the hours on top, but desperately need to win. This preparation's had its chance, especially the start before at the Gold Coast. But as we know, Golem gets him fitter throughout the preparation, and the old girlfriend balanced the books, put in a nice last 100 last start. So we know she's chock-a-block full of talent, and I'll be seeing what she does in preference for future runs because I think she's a gun horse. But 9 on top now is the hour.
Okay. Yeah, again, market sort of seems to have found the right sort of chances, so I'm going to keep cards closer to my chest again, which is a bit weak, but there's plenty of action coming up. Race 3 is some of that. Littlebirdie.tv tips page. It's the listed 1,000-metre event, and Tonkin, speaking of cats, $4.20, Monty Supreme $5.50, Flying Destiny $6, Steady Ready $6.50, Gimme the Beat Boys $8, and then you got Let's Face the Music at $9.50, Superb $11, and then you got Sunrise at $13. Rounding out the major chances, Steady Ready is the horse that you like here, GK. It was first up. It was in blue, just on the inside leading.
Yeah, look, I thought this was a good run. I thought the horse was a little bit in the wilderness last preparation. So coming back and seeing this run fresh, I thought was positive, which sort of seems to suggest that it's back on track for me. And it just loves 1,000-metre dry track Eagle Farm. So look, there's pressure here. Obviously, it's 1,000 metres. But yeah, look, I thought that was a really good pipe opener and a really good platform for it to progress from here. So I thought at around $7, it's one of the two bets in the race I wanted to have. And, if they can run on, the only other one I'd want to back at the moment is Monty Supreme.
Yeah, here she is. Rachel went via Taree. It's right down the outside in the yellow with the purple cap. Walt, this carnival, what did you make of that run?
Oh, it's just given no winning possible chance. Problem is, same rider, same setup. You got the blinkers on. Will that really help the horse jump? It had the blinkers off the whole time that Bjorn's had it, and it's been racing the same way. So I don't know what those blinkers will do. If for some reason Rachel can get it out and get it sort of within 2 or 3 lengths on the turn, they probably won't see which way it went. But it's a big if.
Tonkin's the lay point for me. I'm happy to take it on, especially at the price.
It's strange it's so short in the market. I think it's been backed early, which is a weird one. But I'm with GK with Steady Ready. I think it can hold the front and will get less pressure than it did at the Gold Coast last start, and will give a decent kick on turning, and hopefully it can hold on.
Flying Destiny is flying.
Absolute airborne. I thought it might be looking to go up in distance rather than back down to 1,000, but I've got that horse wrong the past couple, and nothing would surprise with it.
Any comments on those couple of runners, John Walter?
Well, Flying Destiny is just the definition of airborne, isn't it? And then it looks like it's going to get the same run again. It's kind of surprised. Like I sort of did the race, hadn't looked at the market, and I thought Tonkin would be sort of $8, $9 and wanted to half find it as a horse that could improve, and then its favourite. So that was surprising. It like that Kerguelen flying for fun form is better than this form, but the horse sort of has a bit of head noise for sure. But I kind of nearly thought Flying Destiny had to be the one because of the price. I know it's going up in the weights, but it's just racing so well drawn ideally for the way it races. Any pressure, it'll be there. If they don't, it'll be there. So yeah, not a race I love, but sort of Tonkin Flying Destiny with the two I thought, but Tonkin's too short.
I'll be definitely playing with Steady Ready. I think it'll improve a lot. And then Monty Supreme, I think $5 plus is great value. I see Ladbrokes have got $6 on the odds surge there. So I'd suggest you snap that up. I think she's flying and has just gone so well since she's joined the Bjorn Baker yard from the price camp. Eagle Farm Race 4 is the puntingform.com.au listed show a heart 1,500 metre 2-year-old race. Shintono is $2.80 favourite here. Glenorchy $3, West Coast $5.50, Mystical $10, Voyage or Voyenshensi $17, Saxon Spirit $23, and then you got Vanzadee at $26. Bakami is $27. Glenorchy here is the horse, Donny. It's in the white and green, and this is on a rain-affected track, and I don't think I liked it this day.
Didn't look to travel too sweetly and got a long way back from its barrier. Its trials prior was both excellent, and it was about $18 into $8 this day. So someone thinks it's a talent. I actually backed it.
That was me, Donny.
Yeah, it was me too. I backed it at 18s or something stupid. But it just didn't handle it. You can see it's still getting to the line nice and strong. Runs a decent fifth. It's a race that's come up really weak. There's only really the favourite's the only danger, I think. The third favourite, West Coast, won 1,100 metres on a poly. Now it's 1,500 to the grass and it's $5.50. It did look good, but it's a strange race. I'm leaning to Glenorchy though.
GK, it's got form around I Am Dirty, the favourite from the Tony and Calvin McAvoy camp in Shintono. Do you want to play in this race or is it too tricky?
Oh, I'm definitely not backing these favourites. There's no way I want to back Shintono. I don't really know what to make of Glenorchy. I understand the case, but I feel like I want a better price there. I did a few laps of this race and I really struggled. I don't know what to make of the mystical runs. I know it was unlucky last start, but I don't know if any of that is actually form. I mean, one I came back to was, which I think is about 50 to 1, which I could potentially have something small on each way, was Gold Check, which is fresh here. I think it's Toby Edmonds. Look, it ran a nice race against Martis at Eagle Farm one day, and it just, to me, suggests it's probably a miler over time. It could be a camel. I don't know. I potentially could have something on it 1x3, but just a really low turnover race for me.
John Walter, Glenorchy, you're going to butter up again? Surely back to dry helps, and even just up to 1,500 looks a massive plus.
Yeah, well, is it? That's the thing. Like, it's the only horse in the race who could just blow their heads off. Like, he could win by 6, and you're not going to be surprised. And it's weird to say that and then not want to really put your balls on it at $3.10. But yeah, I sort of thought it needed to be around $5 to have a decent bet on it. If I had to have a bet in the race, it'd be Glenorchy. And just, I hate horses that get their head up and do things. Did it do that because of the track? And I don't know. Obviously, I think Tommy will suit it better. Gate 1 will suit it better. 1,500, it might travel better. Yeah, it's a very, very dangerous horse, but you're definitely taking as low as you probably should be. And I don't know what to do with West Coast. What do you do with a horse that's jumping, what is it, 12 to 11 to 1,500 off a really slow run, polytrack run where it overcame a slow tempo with ease late. So there was merit to what it did. I just don't know what the heck to do with it now.
Mr. Polly?
Yeah, I'd normally just ignore him, but it was a really good win in this form that's come out of the polytrack run, which is strange to say for a listed race, but I just can't back it at $5.50. I think it opened $26, and if you're sharp enough to grab that, that's okay, but too short now.
Might be his best since Hellbent, old Curdy Goldman.
Yeah, there might be the second horse he's trained since then.
Oh my God. No, he's a good friend of the
show. Will he watch it from the Northcliffe Surf Club, or will he be in the mounting yard?
Let's move on to race number 5. It's the 4X. It's a listed Queensland Day Stakes. It's a 1,200-metre event. And Miss Freelove's come up favourite $5. Sylph, $6.50. Agar Wood, $7. Mercy Me, $7. Chains of Love, $8.50. Earn to Burn, $9.50. Sequester, it's $12. Platinum Pantheon, $16 on the quick backup. And then you got Sword of Legacy, $17. Foreign Press, $19. Shady Road, $19. Crash the Party, $26. Champagne Lane, $31, and our old mate Smexy there at $81. So it's got a fair tail to this race. The first replay we're going to watch is down at Scone, and this is Shady Road with the orange down on the inside, and then in the bright pink with the white cap, you got Sequester Donny.
Yeah, he was good. Shady Road first up. Weaves through traffic, keeps coming late right to the line. There's kind of two main lead-ups, the Scone race and the Queensland race. I thought he was the best in this run, being first up, and just keeps finding the line, and it's come up a big price against some of the horses he meets this day.
John Walter, I did notice that Sequester's been nommed and scratched from a couple of races, but then they've landed here.
Yeah, I think looking for dry, and obviously drew pretty ordinary there as well. I think it was 14-14 on a wet track last week after it sort of drew 15 first up. So I would assume they didn't want to risk. I don't think there was any drama there, is what I'm saying. I don't mind the extra week. Very, very much of a nightmare of a creature to try and catch, but has a huge engine when it's in the mood. Do you want me to keep talking, or have you got another replay?
Well, I'll pause you for a moment, which I enjoy doing. But Crash the Party, GK and Donnie have both found this horse. It's out the back. It's sort of pink with blue, and then the green hat, GK.
Yeah, and obviously this is just ridiculous that both of these were in this maiden that day. They're both clearly, listed grade horses. I just don't understand for the life of me how Sylph could be 10-5 and Crash the Party's $26 here when it's a better run. It's late sectionals here. Crash the Party were absolutely enormous. I think it's primarily a 1,400 to 1,600 meter horse over time, but there's going to be pressure here, and this horse is going to be coming. To have not won a race and it's already won 400,000. It has ability, this thing. I've backed it multiple times each way. Just auto bet territory for me here. It's going to knock one of these races off. So, look, I am a little nervous about a lot of the Scone form, but in saying that, in this race, I'm going to back both of those from Scone, Shady Road and Sequester. I'm also going to have something Crash the Party, and I'm also going to have something at 50s on Champagne Lane, who also has a huge motor and will be storming late.
Gosh, I just don't know that Champagne Lane is still with us. It was in my black book a while ago, and I hit the delete button, and not many bounce back after I do that. Donnie, Earn to Burn, you kicked up for it last time. Are you falling off?
Yeah, it was a good win last time. I think it's right in the race. About 1,200 might stretch it a touch. Had every chance last start, and I think this race is stronger.
I'm going to unpause you now, John Walter, so let loose.
Well, first up, I'm feeling sorry for Trent that every time he has a good horse, they say it's a Toby Edmonds trained horse. So I'm going to say I'm going to say the Trent Edmonds trained. What's it called? Crash the party here. I'm with GCAP. Like, it was a better run than Sylph by a long way from mine last start. And whoever can take a quarter of the odds, Sylph over it. It was huge. And we've seen how good the Trent Edmonds trained Spicy Martini's going as well. So I think the stable's actually flying. Auto bet there. This horse, Mercy Me, is one of these horses that early on looked average to me, like just looked another on pace sort of nothing horse. And then put it away, can he sort of come back, was okay first up, better second up, better third up, better fourth up, came back and was huge. So just keeps improving. Going to roll forward. If it gets any control, geez, it's going to run a race. Wow. So I think Mercy Me, $8 is a huge price. And Timmy on Miss Freelove, gate 1, I couldn't take $5 or I could probably save on her. I just thought they were the two scared of Sequista and definitely backing, once again, the Trent Edmonds trained Crash the Party.
Gee, it's got a GK whiff about this first forward jobby here. I think there's going to be some multiples and exotics played with these runners that you've mentioned and coupled up. The only other one I'll mention is Platinum Pantheon. Mark Duplessis from 17. It's got the Regal Award form. Anyone?
Comes out of the hottest race of the carnival, so it's got to be a chance.
Was a fair run. I thought it hit the line
run.
Super. I thought, who's this little horse? It's Kiwi. Maybe chuck that in for
you said it yourself, mate. Mark Duplessis, Gary's gate 17, 14 back to 12. It's probably going to be 3 lengths last with 100 to go and forgetting it's in the race.
Would need to be Nightline to win. Might be. Let's see. Anyway, I'm going to put it in for third and fourth line of first 4 and figure out how I can get tangled up and miss it, because that's what I've been doing recently. Let's get stuck into the quaddie. It's the racingwatch.com.au Magic Millions National Classics for the fillies and mares. So good to see you sponsoring races too, John Walty. Must be flying. Churchill's Choice is a favourite here, $5. Surf and Bird, $5. Penido is $5.50. DeCleachy Boulevard, good winner first up, $8. Blinded by the Light, $10. O'Diamond Little, $13. Our Queen, $13. Bengal Diamond on the back up, $13. Then you got Pippi Beach, $14. Hyperbolic is $16. Margot's Deal, $21. And Better the Rest. First Republican to watch here is a few of them that have been around, and this is Blinded by the Light in red way out the back, and then you've got Penido with the Blaze. GK, what do you want to say about this race?
I thought J-Mac threw Penido over the line. Got a PR and it was a J-Mac special, really, I thought. My notes, as soon as the race finished, I just immediately wrote down completely opposed next start. I was like, I'm going to oppose it I don't care where it is, what it's in, I'm opposing Penido next start. So that's my starting point on the race. I thought Blinded by the Light had a terrible setup there. They obviously go back to last. Draws wide here, but I think they might try to take a more forward position. I just think this is a better setup for Blinded by the Light. I thought Pippi Beach was good there. So I think it's probably ready to go. So for me, Blinded by the Light and Pippi Beach were the 2 out of that race that I wanted to take out of it.
Churchill's Choice won the Hawkesbury Cup, and then it backed it up with a pretty strong performance here. It's in the purple and the white, just ducking and sort of diving and weaving on the inside, Donny, in the Scone Cup. This form's spot on, isn't it?
It should be solid enough in a race that's not really have heaps of potential in it, but it's run 2 really good races in a row, won the Hawkesbury Cup and almost wins the Scone Cup. In a race that's average, I think it's a mare in form and gets a nice spot in the map, and it's going to be hard to beat.
Who would have thought Reggie could ride a race-to-race double? John Walter, she's found the line, just smashed the line last 2 starts.
I backed him in 3 races in a row last week. I think I was lucky 2 of them were scratched. It's completely and utterly airborne. And I tried to find a way from it here, and everything says you've got to be with it. Weights and everything in its favour. It hasn't been found a fast run race. Like they've actually run fast, but they haven't slowed down. So a fast tempo race. So last 2 starts back, it overcame a slow tempo and rounded them up. And then last time they sort of just never stopped, kept coming, and it didn't stop through the line. So yeah, I think is very, very much a scary combination, but any sort of luck down the middle, and there should be good enough tempo from it here. Surf and Bird coming across from the outside is probably the danger, but it'll be coming after it hard late.
To Cleachy Boulevard, your favourite stable, John Walter. I thought it was a big win first up.
Basically arrogant, wasn't it? It was in that run where Sienna was just finding the same lane about 7 races in a row and winning, but it was pretty much dominant late, wasn't it? But that was on a heavy track, on a heavy 10, first up off 417 days. So
how did it do that?
Exactly, and then it had a massive amount of class on them, but for me that's a death setup. Like but betting suggests I think it was 21 into about 8 that it was one of the little gifts that Sienna gets every now and then for doing a lot of grunt work for the stable. So I think they must have had that horse ready there. It's in Sydney as well. I don't know if it's out or not, but it's drawn 4 in Sydney, so it makes sense for it to run there. So hopefully we don't have to worry about it here.
All right. Any other thoughts?
What do you make of Surfing Bird, Walton? How are you going to tell Timmy to ride it?
I won't tell him. I don't tell him anything. I whisper in his ear from time to time. But I think last start it's not a box seat horse. It's definitely not a sit sprint sort of horse. And up to a mile, I think if it landed behind O'Diamond Lil, like if it just goes a little bit quick early. I know Zara doesn't really do that, which is probably not ideal, but either way, if they go slow and it sits outside or they go quick and it sits behind, I think this race is a bit of D-Day for Surf and Bird. We'll find out if she's still with us. You know, that win at Caulfield still sits in my mind as one of the biggest wins of the year last year. It was insane. So, you know, if she reproduces that, she'll probably just win this.
And then just J-Mac off is enough for you, GK, and you'll probably take on a lot of J-Mac off runners across the card.
Yeah, I just, as I said, I just thought it got a PR last start, but and it was honestly I don't think anyone else would have won on it last start besides J-Mac. He literally threw it over the line. Maybe I'm dirty because I was on hyperbolic inside it, but I just thought that was its race. It's a different scenario. So, look, for me, I'm happy to be with Blinded by Light, People Beach out of that race, and then I just think Churchill's Choice is the obvious for me. And yeah, dry track, big track, just looks tick for it. So. They're the 3 that I'm going to play in the race, and they're all in the quaddie. And then I'd probably throw Surf and Bird in the quaddie as well.
There we go. Pretty line and length for the first leg. Eagle Farm.
So is the Diamond. Blinded by the Light's drawn perfectly to come across with Surf and Bird. That's the key to it. So if it comes across with it, it's probably a $5 chance. If she drags it out again, it's probably a $55 chance. But definitely the opportunity there to suck across with Tim.
No, you'll have to call your mate Peter Moody and let him know. I can't hear anything, John. You're off mute. Let's go to Eagle Far Race 7. It's the GK's Rumination Substack Listed Spear Chief. So it's been published, so make sure you read that one. King Zephyr's the favourite here, $2.40. Sun God, $6. Harry's Yacht, $6. Shadizi, $8. Surprise it's still going around. Cranky Harry, $12. And you got Mickey's Medal at $14. Cronenberg, that surprise, 100-1 winner at $17. And you got Tabs still going around as well. God bless him for the day that he helped us. And then you got War Eternal, who's the out-and-out wet tracker. Let's get into a couple of replays. This is King Zephyr. And I thought this is a pretty good effort here, GK. And El Rocco's been an interesting sort of benchmark. He's just been going out, looking the winner. He got Meredith sort of smashing the line. He ends up winning the race. You got Big Swinger, Charlotte's horse, well named. And then just love the way he sort of gets into his work here late, King Zephyr. And Craig Williams comes up to ride it. Just sort of peaked on his run there, I thought.
Yeah, just an enormous performance. We see this time and time again from this horse. It's just really just gets so far back in a lot of the races. Look, I was going to be against it until we've had 486 scratchings in this race, which I think has helped it enormously. Just means it's not going to be that far off them, and maybe it doesn't even need to go to last here. So, it's going to be in the second half of the field, but it could be, second last pair or something like that. So, look, I haven't backed it yet, but, pattern's going to be pretty important. But for me, it's just the obvious starting point, despite there being lots of dangers in the race. So still a wait and see for me on this race, but I find it hard to get away from that horse. And I did note that Graham Begg said the other day on the radio that this was actually, they've had this race in mind for a month. So that was a bit of a surprise. And look, they obviously are ready to go here.
Yeah, I heard the same sort of thing, GK, and I nearly fell over. I didn't realise it was that big a deal. Sun God, John Walter, looked absolutely gone here, and it somehow fought back in the Aussie Kahir colours, just inside linebacker. And I know linebacker's not setting the world alight at all, and he's a bit of a monster himself, but still showed the temerity to burst through that gap and pick itself up there. I thought that was all right.
It's kept me out of the homeless shelter. First up 2 times in a row now. Very good fresh horse. Won a fresh over a mile last time, and then this was a hard run 1300, which is probably what ideal for it. But still, second up at a mile here looks, or 1500 looks absolutely perfect. 21 days looks perfect. Just a really nice sit sprinter that is going to burst through the line. I know it's 1 over 2400. I don't think that's really its go. I think around a mile looks perfect. One of these Waller horses that he's sort of taken a couple of preps to really understand. But to me, just it's the horse. It's the run-on horse. Like I can't see a horse like King Zephyr, who I think will be out of bullets at the end of 1500, holding off a horse like this. So it'll only be a horse in front of him that'll beat him, I think.
And that could be Harry's Yacht, who I thought didn't have many options here from the wide gate, but have a look at it in the purple, sort of going around it. You're bounding Timmy Clark, but bless him's getting like the suck run here and just never stops trying Harry's Yacht. I think they were trying to backdoor into the Stradbroke, and I think Will Larkins being...
Did Sofrado win this race?
Sorry?
Did Sofrado win this race?
No. Oh, there it is. But I thought it was full of merit there from barrier 14. And now GK gets this suck of all suck runs from barrier 1. And D Bates knows the horse really well. And I think the form just stacks up nicely as well. So he's just a line finder and a try, this horse. I like him.
It's a nice horse. I guess my question was 1500. Wasn't sure about that personally. Like, this seems to be right at the outer limit. And yeah, look, it's going to get a suck run. I guess Zara will roll along at a pretty good tempo here on Cronenberg. So that would be my query, just that last 100 meters, whether, horses like Sun God, King Zephyr, maybe even potentially horses like Tabs, Rising Pacific are coming over the top late. So really nice horse. I just think that the way the carnival is shaken out has meant that this is almost a backup plan for Harry's Yacht to try to still a last throw at the dice to sneak into the Stradbroke. I just don't like the setup and think it would have been better in 7 furlong race.
Donnie, these aren't your jam 1500 metre events?
No, I was with you, Skid. I thought Harry's Yacht was a nice chance to get from an outside barrier to inside barrier. Sucks up. It went with King of Rosso first up. I think the form's solid in a race that I'm not too keen to play. I was a little worried about King Zephyr getting right back, and I thought it kind of stopped its last 100 in its past few starts. But only question with that horse is the price, but I'll back Harry's Yacht just a small bit.
Yeah, I'm a bit like you. I only want to have a small play, but I'm petrified of a horse like Sun God. Just so good first up, and now should improve out of sight. Eagle Farm Race 8. It's
the Don. To talk, or you just going to brass me cold?
Maybe you just tip.
He's the only betting in. So do you want me to talk?
You tip Sun God.
No, I didn't. I didn't get to talk. You told me to talk about the replay. Harry's Yacht and Sun God too. Like, just keep betting. Just keep betting. One of them win. Harry's will either get the suck and win over 1500. That King of Rosso forms good. I don't think any horse can sprint with Sofrado, and I don't think that's his go. So I think the horse is completely airborne. I would have backed it in the Stradbroke next week. So if he runs 1500, he'll probably win. And if something runs on, it'll be Sun God and King Zephyr will loom up, and the Wrinkles' teeth will be shining, and then it'll stop like it was shot the last 50, and he'll all be cast.
So lay King Zephyr from John Walter. Glad we got
just
that.
Bet. Don't worry about laying. Don't worry about taking $3 about laying. Just bet.
Okay. Harry's Yacht you've added, so a nice little bracket play from you. Glad you're on board with us. Eagle Farm Race 8. It's the Don's Best Saturday set, Group 1, Queensland Oaks. So I'm looking forward to that, Donnie, when it comes out Saturday morning. I always love that tweeting. Panova's the favourite here, $3.70. I thought it was missing a zero here. Chispa, $6.50. Fireball Miss, $8. Parvenu, $9 in from 13. Soverado, $10. Solid Gold, $11. Paltrow Miss, $14. Grand Omaha, $14. Single Red, $16. Silver Sister, $17. Leica, $34. And you're getting much better the rest. Here it is, the $3.70 favourite, Panova. and just sort of trucks into it, 6 wide. It's what's been 6 or 7 weeks since this run. You got Paltrow Miss, a horse like Mating Call's there down on the red with the white cap. My query was that Mating Call couldn't beat a horse like Private Legacy. And my other query here is, I'm just not sure how this happened. And we've had to wait 6 weeks for the covers to come off again. And now instead of taking $8 or $11 that day in the SA Oaks, you're now forced to take $3.70 at Ladbrokes or $4 with the odds surge, and you don't get J-Mac, and you have to have Benny Barge Mellum. So I hope he's had his wheat bix this morning or the morning of the race, because he's got a couple of big J-Mac horses that he needs to kick over the line to keep earning his keep at the Waller camp. Just have to take it on at the price, I would have thought. And the Roses lead up is probably more questions than answers. And GK in his little Substack has been pretty vocal, and he's been pretty vocal on this show. And this is the farcical tempo here. And the horse I like is probably Parvenu with the red and the yellow cap. And I thought the hidden run, well, not so much hidden, but I think Soverado was quite good. You can just see it in the OTI colours with the blue cap on the inside and the white sleeves. They sort of just necked it to last and then just got out sprinted. I think it's bred to sort of eat up the 2200, and a change of tempo would really suit that runner, maybe even a change of tactics. I thought they were two horses that might have been a little bit more hidden. I know, GK, you like Fireball Miss, and as do I. I thought she's a tough little customer, and Chispa was the other one. But, yeah, I think it just it throws up more confusion than anything, the Roses, GK.
Yeah, it's just one of those races where, slow to run races, you just don't know whether everything's fake news and what's going on really. Despite that, you kind of need to make a decision given everything except for Panova kind of comes through that. I just liked the style of Chispa more than anything. Like, I was not keen on it last start. I didn't really know what to make of the previous start, which everyone was hooting and hollering about. But I liked the strength that she showed there. Like, she just bullied Parvenu out of the way there and hit the line strongly. I just think stronger tempo is going to suit. Out and trip's going to suit. I find it hard to get away from Chispa personally. I've got a little futures multi on Fireball Miss rolling. So, look, just given the race, I don't really want to play heavily. So I'm going to back those two. I understand the case for the others like Parvenu, Grand Omaha, Solid Gold, Silverado. Like, I can see why you'd probably have something on them. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with Panova yet. Like, I thought potentially I could save on it, or I could just let it go around and beat me. But at this stage, backing Chispa and Fireball Miss, and probably throw those others at double figures in the quaddie and leave Panova out to try to get a result.
I'm going to say it because I've got John Walter on pause, but Jamie Mellon, barrier 20. GK?
Barrier 20 doesn't worry me.
Jamie Mellon? This is going to be like half yours, Gold Coast, where she went via, Coolangatta? Even further, Tweed Heads to try and get it around the Gold Coast circuit. And then strong in the finish, Jamie. Like what we've recently seen. Donnie, you're starting to grimace as well.
Oh, the starting point's right on the turn, so the barriers are quite important here. They might just have to neck it because they won't all go right forward. So the tempo could be on early. It's
don't get that extra 200 in the derby. Yeah.
If Chispa drew a barrier, I'd be very keen, but because of the gate and Jamie, they might go a long way back, which she may be too strong late.
She might be back there with Benny.
What would they be doing back there? Someone else might join in too.
John Walter, I've just unpaused you. Let's say something radical. Not for you, just in general.
Chispa?
I don't know.
On the race.
Whatever you like.
On the race. Yeah, it's not in the race. You can't back the favourite. So I don't know. It's one of those. It's going to suck me. Grand Omaha he rode it too well last start. Poor bugger, like an absolutely ideal spot, and then that camel took it off the track, took all its momentum. What do you do with Fireball Miss? I don't know. Like, 7th run first prep, gate 18. Where's it going to be? Like, it's just such a messy race. I've got to back up on Grand Omaha at $15 mentally. I think Solid Gold's getting to a silly price. I thought it went well last week. It's just whether it can back up, because it was gone 400 out there and kept trying so hard. How much did that take out of the horse? That's a big issue. I sort of think Parvenu and Grand Omaha, long story short of the two, I'm going to time myself to. And, probably single red is forced its hand from the wide draw. It's getting out to a silly price now. You might get 20 to 1 single red. I think they went way too slow on it last start. It wasn't suited at all. And Fireball Miss goes in the quaddie. So they're probably the five I'm throwing in the quaddie, and Grand Omaha and Parvenu will be my best results.
Tommy was the only one that just didn't get the memo. Well, obviously, Ryan Maloney did a good job there with Kilman, went 13 lengths faster than the start before, and Kilman finished tailed off by 10 or something. So I see what you see there, John, and it still doesn't make me feel any better about it. I thought she boxed on amazingly, and some horses just explode off that. I'm going down with the ship. It cost me an absolute fortune last week, solid goal, but I think I've got her on top again. If she's still with us, and Tommy, I even heard Tommy through the press. He didn't admit that he made a mistake about sort of revving and riding her out of pattern, but I think he's learnt that he's going to just sit her wherever she's comfortable. And barrier 4, she'll get the suckest of runs. And perhaps, this is me with my tinfoil hat on, I think maybe Maloney might get his little payday from setting the race up last week for Kilman for the backmarkers, and maybe Soverado might be his little turn to have a little bit of a drink from the chalice. And that's the horse that I was sort of most dangerous or most scared of, Severado, and tinfoil hat, thinking he's Maloney's gift from the Wally Yard. Anything there, Don?
I don't know if it'll run 2,200. I thought it was the one suited by the slow tempo. I love Soverado as a horse, but I think it's a miler. But
could be
nothing
right.
will surprise you. Well, unless you're getting a price. But yeah, it wasn't that bad a ride last week. And I'm not, Tommy and I are love-hate, but at least he let it sort of come back a little bit. But if he had his time over again, no doubt he doesn't squeeze it out the gate. It's a great betting race. There's so many different angles. And if Jamie goes back to last from 20 and goes up the fence, good luck to her. I think that's what she's probably going to need to do.
Anything else, GK? I hear you laughing and snickering in the background at my expense, probably.
No, I'm not going to add anything else. I personally think it's a hateful race. I just I don't want to turn over too much money in this race. I think there's better betting races on the card.
It'd be a great in-play betting race if that existed anymore, because I reckon by the turn you'll be watching the white, like they'll be coming like charged with the Light Brigade. It'd be awesome to be betting and running this race.
The other most Kieran thing ever is Paltrow Miss. So it's been massively spaced with its runs. It now gets a wrinkle, barrier 22. So who knows where it'll end up? But if you're going to dive in and make a case for Panova, you have to think that Paltrow Miss has got some sort of chance, because if you tie in like Savridi, Parvenu, that forms intertwined. So it could be the forgotten runner at sort of 30s that you need to throw in your quaddie if you're trying to get really sort of outside the square. But cracking racing could really blow the quaddie apart. Let's go to race number 9. It's a Ladbrokes Group 2 Moreton Cup. It's a 1,200 metre event, and Manal is the favourite, $4.60. Hidden Well, $6.50. Common James, $6.50. In Flight, $7. Boomtown Boss, $7. King of Sparta, $7. The Inflictor, $12. And then Zoo Sensation, $13. And that SJ's probably the other one at $20 and $21 for Oak Hill, who's also going quite well. First replay we're going to have a look at here, Donnie, is Boomtown Boss, Oak Hill, and the Inflictor. And Boomtown Boss was the shocker this day.
Yeah, just in the blue cap there. It's had the blinkers the first time. Travelled into the race nicely. Looked like it had a lap full of horse, and he just can't get out. There's probably nothing he did wrong except not get out, because he was held up the whole straight, the last 300 metres. So I think it's a good setup here. Third up, we know Golan strikes third up. 1,200 at Eagle Farm is perfect. Blinkers stay on. It maps to settle probably midfield and get to the outside. So around $8, I think it's a good way to finish the card.
And as GK mentioned earlier in the show, if it gets to, say, a good 3 or even sneaks into the high 2 range, Boomtown is a horse that absolutely loves that road-like conditions. Hidden Wealth, GK, this is the Chief De Beers over 1,100 metres.
I just had no luck. It's had no luck, really, this preparation. And look, the conditions of this race really favour Hidden Wealth, favours those at the top of the ratings. Finally, I think finds a more suitable race. Yes, there's pressure here, but, Tommy on... They don't have to lead. They can sit second pair if they want. I just thought this was a really easy bet. I mean, I think it was $10 yesterday, so it's been 10 into 650 this morning. I thought that was the right price to take $10 Hidden Wealth. I think around $6 is probably the right price. So look, I've covered Hidden Wealth. It's one of the ones I want to be on here. I just found this a really strange race in terms of the composition. You've got half the field coming back in trip, and then you've got the proper 6 furlong horses, and I think that makes things interesting. Like, I've more lent towards the 6 furlong horses here rather than the ones that are here to try to get into the Stradbroke or whatever else. So, yeah, Hidden Wealth is one of the ones I'm on. I thought Oak Hill was a really sneaky good run in that race. It's coming back in trip, but it's not a 1350 meter horse for mine. So I think back to 1200 suits. I also thought SJ is going enormous, probably the surprise packet of the carnival for mine. I think both of those at over $20, easy covers. And Metal Art is a really sneaky one, which I'm also having something on. 1200 is going to suit. Yeah, I want value here. So Hidden Wealth at $10, and then the others, the 3 roughest in the race, probably I'm going to be on all those.
Last week's quaddie paid $78,000. So GK's trying to hunt even a bigger one there. So it'll probably nearly pay the guts of 100K if any of those horses salute in the last. Manal has been up here for a very long time, Donnie, in our backyard, and he's been in your little sand pit here at the. She has, and I just added this Polly trial just for sort of context to say that she has been acclimatised here for quite some time, and I'm just not sure if it's going to be to her advantage or not first up. It might backfire because we've had so much rain and so much weather. Like, this can't be great for this sort of level of race, can it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. That's one of your theories, but it's the class runner of the field, no doubt. It's got the runs on the board, and it's had 2 trials. Both were nice. The first one at Bow Desert was probably the pick of them, where they asked for a bit more and it ran time. So she gets a nice draw from the inside gate. Whether she's ready to go first up or she's having a prep run for the Tatsiara in 3 weeks' time is probably the issue.
Yeah, that was my theory. I thought, this is a stepping stone for the Tiara. So I was at the shorts. I was probably looking to oppose. Uncommon James is probably the other one that I thought was a forgive off the wet track. I thought he was one that you could put in your exotics and definitely your quaddie. Now getting back to bone dry conditions. John Walter, any thoughts on this race?
Yeah, I agree with you. Uncommon James has to go on the quaddie. Whether if he gets across, blinkers off, and controls back on dry, he's very dangerous. Yeah, I thought the Boom Down Boss was a big price. Agree completely. Like, this is the first race this prep where it's been well set up. I don't think it's a first up 1300 horse, and then last start everyone saw what happened there. If he's still got a bit of spring in his legs, which he should after that, like he basically had a barrier trial there. 1200 with the blinkers and the nice draw should suit. And I thought Zoo Sensation was a crazy price. 1300 again, first up, not ideal for it. They went 100 miles an hour. It presented the winner, and it was gone 200 out and got beat 3 lengths in that Sun God point and shoot race, which I think's very good form for this, and just doesn't know how to do anything but run well. This horse draws perfectly to sort of land on speed in the first 4. I think it runs really well. So I thought those two, Boomtown Boss and Zoo Sensation, with a clear value. Sort of Manal has to go in the quaddie with Uncommon James. They were the 4 I thought.
Inflictor, are we saying it's alive or gone? I think it's a big price.
Why is it back? Why is it coming back to 1200? I don't understand that one. I thought it had its chance the other day in that abounding race, and I think he's ready for 1400 metres or further. I just have no clue why it's in this race. If anything, he went too slow last start, so back to 1200, unless Rachel really lights him up, which I don't think can be possible here. I just don't understand why it's in the race.
I think it might be ready for a new stable. Let's talk. Well, I think we've sort of talked ourselves into early in the week, GK, or probably Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll sort of ho hum about the meeting, but after hearing everyone's thoughts for the all 9 races, especially some of these quaddie legs, I'm starting to get a bit excited about some of the prices, and there's a couple of good angles here. Are you getting more excited about it? Because I know you've been kicking stones for a couple of days.
Well, all I said was that last week was like eating Nobu, and this week's like drive through Hungry Jacks. But it's just a tune-up for next weekend for the Stradbroke. But look, there's, as per usual, there's plenty of bets. There's good depth here. There's horses to attack and whatever. So, game on, dry track, love it.
Sometimes you need a bit of Hungry Jacks, Donnie, or a bit of the Dirty Bird to get you through.
Especially drunk or hungover. Don't worry about Nobu. I don't even know what that is.
Hey?
But burgers are better.
I'll get you down there one day. All right, best bets time. I can open the batting here. I'm dead keen. If track run on and there's a bit of juice in the track, and there should be by race 3, I think Monty Supreme's an absolute cracking bet. Okay, Ragio King, fair enough, but $556 around this horse. I thought it was just absolutely airborne, this one, and Bjorn's tend to grow like when they get up to Queensland. So I think that's my each way best. Clearly, Monty Supreme. So that's race 3, number 6. Donnie, you're closest to me. Your best?
Race 1, Cavalry Band, and race 5, Crash the Party to place.
What?
Oh, I like it. A couple of big place multis. John Walter, you're noisy, so you can go next.
Mate, I'm bracketing up so many horses, sort of front to back, probably not the best order. Mercy Me, Crash the Party. Oh. Churchill's Choice, Save and Surf and Bird. The Harry's Yacht, the Sun God backing them both, and Zoontown Lass and Zoo Sensation in the last. So four races bracketing up a storm.
Okay, that's your set. That's not really best bet, but
yeah, I'm backing them all. Log it, mate. Just multi up the 4 blended bets or something. Just it'll be about 1,000 to 1. Just keep betting.
Thanks, mate. You've understood the problem and given a great answer. Thanks for your time. GK, best bet, not your set.
Race 2, now's the hour.
Beautiful stuff. Nice and succinct. That's how I like it. Littlebirdie.tv tips area is where you're going to find everyone's set. So make sure you tune in for that. Next week, we've got the Stratty edition, the Stratty show. So, yeah, that's very exciting. You going to go next week, the Stratty?
No, I won't be going to the Stratty.
Yeah, GK will be there.
That's good for GK. I might be at the Gold Coast Poly Meet.
And Walt's starting to lurk around a couple of tracks as well. Good news is hosted pot, so I get a little bit of redemption next week, even though we chopped out and broke square for last week, and I'm sort of launching everywhere except for Caulfield. But going to be other bonus tips across the Little Birdie TV website as well, because the Randwick card and the Flemington card look tempting if the tracks are sort of holding together, especially down at Flemington. I think it's going to be a heavy 8. So make sure you check that out, and we'll catch everyone same time, same channel next week. So big thanks to Racing Queensland, Punting Form, and Ladbrokes, and make sure you gamble responsibly, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.